This is the afternoon of the 1st of November. Clip put up by the damage report, put up 23 hours ago, so that would mean it was up on the 31st. Yeah, 31st of October. Title, Garbage People of the Week. J.D. Vance, disaster escalates after wife comments spark MAGA conspiracy. Plays for about 9 minutes. Let's have a listen. Don't know why it's buffeting, but it's buffeting. Well.
My Halloween ghoul of the garbage week is J.D. Vance for really hoping that his wife abandons her religion. Here is a headline from People magazine, so you know it's real. You know that it like made its way into what your mom's talking about. J.D. Vance admits he wants wife Usha, who was raised Hindu, to, quote, be somehow moved by Christianity. Asked about this kind of stuff at a Turning Point USA event, here is what he had to say.
Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved.
10,000 of your closest friends? You're delusional.
Then by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way. But if she doesn't, then God says everybody has free will, and so that doesn't cause a problem for me.
Yeah, it doesn't cause a problem for me. It causes a problem for her because she's going to roast the bowels of hell for all eternity because she's a heathen. And we'll get to how not detached from reality my conclusion about what people in the audience might draw from that is. But like he said that. He wants her to be moved by the same stuff he was moved by. My contention is what he was moved by was the possibility of becoming president of the United States. Agreed. The call to that rather than the call to serve Jesus, who is I am the Son of God, whatever. But what's hilarious about this is the next wrinkle. People are already making matchmaker. So hilariously and ironically, the Hindu person isn't good enough for him, but the white Christians are the ones asking for an arranged marriage. Here we go. Here is a tweet from the ever popular Hustle Bitch at this same Turning Point USA event. People are pointing like, this makes a really good couple. And it seems like they might be into it. On the one hand, she is dressed in leather like some of his favorite couches. On the other hand, her other hand is doing the thing that ladies do when they're aroused by a gentleman, which is putting the hands through the hair. Now, it isn't just that people are seizing on. John, we'll get to your stupid, dumb point in a second. But here's how she introduced him at that event.
I am tremendously blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife. No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD.
Now, these statements haven't been verified by USA Today. I don't know if they're real, but I do know what is real is this hand through the hair thing, which John has something to say about. Let's take a look. What do you think?
Yeah, so first off, I will grant you that I cannot conceive of a person doing that without it being romantic or familial love. Yeah. Like, I would do that to my wife. I might do that to my daughter. And if I did it to anyone else, My wife and my daughter would not be happy about it. I know that. But I also cannot conceive of anyone being genuinely turned on by J.D. Vance. So again, the logic sort of falls apart at that point. Look, I think that this is a massive political thing. I think he wants to use Turning Point to become president. I think that she's obviously a political animal too, who's looking ahead to what she could potentially get out of this, some sort of administration position or something like that. And so they're doing whatever it is they have to do to imply that Charlie Kirk would love him, or he's godly, or whatever all this BS posturing is. That is all fundamentally political. I don't care about the religious stuff. I don't care about their personal lives. I care about the damage they do politically, and it looks like they're maneuvering to do a lot more of it.
Right. Well, I would argue that the damage they're doing relies on religious hatred of people outside the religion, or at least they need, like, so much of politics, but specifically right of center politics in America, is based on whether, like, on hatred for another, someone else, someone outside. And religion is something they seize on crazily. So I'm going to jump to this third video that I have for you. And this is like how people in Turning Point USA have referred to Hindu individuals like Vivek Ramaswamy to his face. Take a look.
Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
Do you think it's inappropriate for someone who's a Hindu to be, say, a U.S. president?
No, I think it's... no, well...
And that is like what Turning Point is about. I can't underscore that enough. This is what, like, the thing is, they're trying to raise the profile of Turning Point USA events by airing them on Fox and whatnot. But this is the stuff that I think they're going to have to, like, quiet. They're really good at hiding this part previously from the public sphere. But, like, the whole thing is they want Christian nationalism to prevail. And they want us to be a Christian nation. I just find it utterly insane that they're doing that. And again, like, I don't think that J.D. Vance or Donald Trump, obviously, are religious people. Like, J.D. said himself that he and his wife met when they were both quite agnostic. And, you know, as I said before, the call that drove him into the pews every Sunday, I don't think is 1% spiritual or pursuing some kind of, you know, actual religious instinct. It is, he just wants to be president and knows he has to face people like this in Turning Point USA if he wants their vote.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all maneuvering. I don't believe for 1 second that he cares about any of that any more than Donald Trump does. And by the way, within 2.5 years, he's going to be saying the exact same sorts of things about Vivek Ramaswamy, or at the very least, he's going to have people on his staff, surrogates, who are going to be saying the same thing about Vivek Ramaswamy. And you're totally right that this has been a big part. Like, Turning Point USA, in part, exists to make little kids like that propagandize to deluded kids as confident as they are there. Because Charlie Kirk, in addition to the other supremacies that he believed in, was 100% a Christian supremacist. And I know that we're supposed to pretend that that's not true after he was tragically killed or whatever, but that's what he was. That's why many of these people followed him. And so J.D. Vance is going to try to ride that into the White House.
Good day. Or maybe Erika Kirk.
So, like, what do you think, huh? I think they're both garbage people of the week. I'll attach the link. Look at it, pass it along, and thanks for listening.